This meeting is being recorded.
All right, we're live, Chris.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the fourth episode of Ian and Chris's awesome podcast, hosted by me, of course, and Ian. We have a pretty exciting episode this week. Oh, Ian's already munching. Ian, what are you eating? Ian, what are you eating?
I'm eating pizza for dinner.
All right, quick review. Like, how good is it?
It's really good, like a 9.
9? Holy crap!
Wolf.
That's
That's
really good.
high.
Yeah, yeah. And yeah, speaking of that, you guys just saw our special guest of the week, Pepe Sanchez mentioned.
Thank you so much for having me. This is an honor. I've been a fan since day one of the OGs. Can't wait to get started.
Yeah, I mean, Pepe is a great example of why, as a listener, you should really stay intact with like up to date and watch all our episodes because that could be you next time. Maybe that could be you next week. Um, so like stay listening, keep commenting, keep liking. I think we're up to like 20,000 subscribers right now. Yeah, it's going
21,
really
21,
well.
21,000.
21,000, yeah. We're gonna get monetized soon, so we're starting to get some payment. Yeah, pretty excited. And this week we're gonna talk about some of Pepe's experiences, being that he's from Spain, has traveled and also studied all over the world. So we'll go into that a little bit later on. But yeah, I mean it's a good segue from last week's topic, being that Ian and I talked about our spring break experiences and how important traveling is for young people like us. But yeah, I think we can just start getting into some stuff. I think we can start with some updates, Ian, if you'd like. Do you have anything to update us on, Ian?
Um, Not really. I mean, I had a pretty chill week. I went to Chicago Friday night. My dorm had a formal, so that was fun.
Yeah,
But yeah, otherwise, pretty chill week.
yeah. And how was your date, Ian?
Oh,
Come on, Chris, you can't set me up like that. I didn't have a date.
that's
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
crazy, Chris.
it was fun. It was fun still.
Hey, we don't need dates sometimes. Ian is, he's
A lone
known for a
wolf.
lot of, yeah, he's a lone wolf. He doesn't need anyone else. He's like that. Um, Yeah, but that sounds like a lot of fun, and I hope you enjoyed it, going to Chicago. You never told me did you hit all those dance moves? How was the dancing?
It was good. Yeah. It didn't really get going until later in the night, but when it started,
Mm,
it didn't stop. You know what I mean?
yeah. Yeah, after a couple beers, I'm sure you started to feel it.
Yeah, something like that.
Exactly. I like how you're thinking, Ian. Um, yeah, for me, last week's a pretty busy week, had a lot of schoolwork, had a lot of other things, pretty backed up. I was a little bit sleep deprived from driving back from Florida, and I really never caught up on sleep. Still really haven't caught up with sleep. Anyways, we had a pretty cool weekend. Pepe and I had a rugby tournament this weekend.
Yes, sir.
Um, yeah, we went 3-2, which is not very good.
Four,
Um,
4 and 2, 4 and 2.
oh, 4-2, 4-2. You're right. Um, you know, Saturday went really well, went 4-0, and then Sunday we kind of lost both games.
Yeah, I
And
started Sunday, so didn't go too well.
Yeah, I
We can
think
say
there's a
that.
correlate. I think there's a correlation between Pepe playing amount and team success. I think it's
It
like an
could be, it
inverse
could be.
correlation.
I did give you 2 assists though, Chris. Like I'm just saying.
You did,
Like
you did. I can't knock you
I'm
for
just saying.
that. Yeah, I think one thing I was really appreciative when Pepe's in the field. He always looks for me. You know, he was feeding me. I was hungry. He was feeding me. Like how Ian's eating that pizza right now. I was eating the ball.
That's right.
Yes, sir. All
Yeah,
of them.
I was hungry. Yeah, I was hungry. Yeah, so fun weekend with that. But it really took up literally
The
Friday night we had
whole
to set up stuff, all of Saturday, all of Sunday. So like, yeah, pretty full weekend, I would say. Um, Watched a little bit of college basketball, not a lot, but that was exciting. March Madness is always a fun time. Bracket is struggling right now. I'm not gonna lie.
talk about you. Talk
Um,
about you.
yeah,
Number one.
Ian and Pepe, how's your bracket so far?
Bad, really bad.
Bad.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's done. Yeah.
it's over.
We're leading our league, as you know, Chris. So
I know you are.
we we're doing good, even though I don't watch college basketball. But what can I
Honestly,
say?
yeah. I think it's just yeah. I think it's more luck than anything. I'm glad we're not doing a punishment for our league this year. I mean, I don't know if I told you this, but last year we didn't have a winner. We just had whoever got last got a punishment, and I was literally one game away from getting that punishment. But this year we're not doing that, so I'm very grateful for that.
That's good.
Yeah.
It
Anyways,
feels
yeah,
way chill.
yeah, it's a lot more chill. I was very stressed out last year, for no good reason. But yeah, exciting stuff. And then any group updates? You have any, Ian, to share?
I don't think so. Do you?
Um, oh yeah, I have a couple. I actually have a couple updates. I want to be the first one to announce that Nate has a girlfriend. You know, congrats to him. Clap it up.
I got to hear this on the podcast. Like, I can't hear this from him. God, should not have had him on as a guest.
Yeah, sorry, Ian. I think that just goes to show, like I think it just goes to show that I'm where the lights go. I think it goes to show, as you guys know, I'm very like sociable and connected with everyone. I'm like good friends with everyone. And I think that goes to show Ian's a little bit disconnected at some points. But I'll keep you in the loop, Ian, don't worry.
Thanks.
Um, yeah, you're welcome. So yeah, congrats to Nate. It was a long time coming. Uh, bro bounced back hard. He just posted on Instagram. Do you see that, Ian?
No, I'm only on Instagram like once a week, so
That's
Yeah,
locked in right there.
he's always locked in. But anyways, Nate just posted, really hard launch. So it's public stuff. I think the funniest thing about Nate is that he always tries to act cool when he actually isn't. So his like Instagram posts try to be like really hard, but it's yeah, bro, like we know you're not hard, bro. Anyways, even if I think why what,
You hating on this man like crazy, Chris. This is
bro?
two
If you
podcasts already. There's three podcasts at this point hating on him.
right, he's so easy to hate on, bro. He's probably not even gonna watch this anyway. If he does, I give him the benefit of the doubt, but probably not. We I don't know. What else is there update? Um, Nate was in Puerto Rico. Mora was also in Puerto Rico. Nate and Mora had a crossover episode. Nate looked thrilled to see Mora. Uh, she was kind of feral a little bit. Um, Lorelai was in the DR, Dominican Republic, and we were talking about our shared experiences of getting sunburnt. So hopefully she recovers well from her sunburn. It took me a good 2 weeks to recover. I'm still peeling. And now I have all this turf burn from rugby, so I'm kind of struggling. Um, yeah, I don't know if I have any other updates. Um, I'll just give a couple quick shout outs. Shout out to my brother. He's currently in Florida, so hopefully he's alive and well. I don't know if he is, but yeah. Shout out to all our other viewers. Shout out Pepe for coming on the podcast.
Thank
Um,
you.
and yeah, I don't know. I think it's all my shout outs, honestly. Anything else you want to add, Ian?
mm, yeah, I think that sounds good. Um, yeah, sorry I got some pizza in my mouth, but yeah, big ups to Nate. Yeah, hope it lasts. Yeah.
That's really supportive, Ian. I love that. I love how supportive
It's
you
really
are.
nice.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, I guess we can start going into it. This is Pepe's first podcast. How are you feeling, Pepe, so far? Are you nervous?
I'm nervous, being next to like such seasoned podcasters. Like this is like, I mean, it's like being next to Da Vinci and other person. I don't know. Uh,
Ronaldo.
Ronaldo, yeah. The best at their craft. So like I'm really excited to learn with you guys. share my experience. Really happy that you allowed me to share it with the world. So yeah. I'm really excited.
Yeah. All right. So that, yeah, I think, nerves might be settling a little bit, but yeah, we can get right into it. Um, so, I know I introduced Pepe earlier, but I'll give a little bit more context. Pepe is one of my good friends here at Richmond. We do rugby together. We sometimes hang out
Meet
and
sometimes.
like occasionally, um, we cross paths, I guess. Yeah.
You could say,
Anyways, yeah, Pepe. So interesting about Pepe, he's from Spain. Yeah. And he's from
yeah.
Ceuta,
Ceuta, yeah, Ceuta.
Ceuta, which is like the part of Spain and Africa, which is pretty cool. So he's technically African,
Yes,
um,
sir.
theoretically. And he's studied all over the world. He studied in Africa. Wait, where did you study in Africa?
I mean, I studied in Tanzania for 2 years,
Yeah, Tanzania and
and
Canada,
yep.
currently in the US. And he also did a semester at sea. Um, Additionally, Pepe has just, he's traveled everywhere. I think last summer you maybe talk a little about how you traveled last summer, but yeah, he's
Yeah.
been all over. Very diverse mindset, being that he's seen a lot of the world. Something I'm kind of jealous of. Hopefully I
Oh,
can
wow.
catch up at some point. Um, yeah, you want to go a little bit into like your studies in different countries, maybe like start from the beginning. I don't know.
Okay, yeah, sure. So I guess I'll start with Canada. So when I was 15, I applied for a scholarship in Spain that was given like to 500 people, and I got accepted, and they sent me to Canada for a year. There I was in Nova Scotia, a place that nobody knows and that nobody would visit. But
Hmm.
it was a really nice experience. Lived there with a host family, met a lot of people. First taste of the American experience. Some people might say that Canada is a better place than the US, right? Not me. I would never say that. I love the US.
Good, good
I
boy.
really love the US. It's an amazing country. I couldn't say anything bad about it.
Hmm.
Then, unfortunately, because of COVID, it was cut short, so I was only there for 7 months. But while I was there, I applied to a school called UWC, which stands for United World College, which is a series of 18 schools that are all around the globe in 17 different countries. And because I was Spanish and I applied to the Canadian committee, because the Spanish committee didn't let me apply to them, I got selected to go to Tanzania, UWC East Africa. That's how it's called. There were two. I got placed in the better one, I would say. I was really shocked when they told me, because yeah, Tanzania is a really random place, I would say, to what I was expecting. But I can say now, after like that experience, that those were the two best years of my life.
Huh?
UWC it's more than a school. It's a movement. The mission of UWC is really famous among like UWC students to make education a force to unite people, nations, and cultures for peace and a sustainable future. So like, there's a lot of nationality.
Pause. Did you just
Okay,
read
okay,
that?
okay. Okay, you don't have to call me out like that. Okay, you don't have to call me out like that.
You know, like a real podcast would have that memorized, Pepe. Our audience can tell. You can't,
They could,
you can't, you
they would
cannot
know.
pull that shit on our podcast. I told you, you need to be. I told you need to be professional and have all your shit in order. Whatever. See, now I'm getting aggravated. I haven't cursed on this podcast yet. And now I curse. Now I've made it R-rated, and now we can't even publish it on YouTube anymore. God, wow. Anyways,
Because I'm sorry, I don't want to call anybody out, but I was reading from the document that you created, so I don't want anything coming
yeah,
my way if it's not
I've
coming your way
memorized
too.
that.
You
I
didn't
memorized
why
it.
do you You created this document 5 minutes ago, Chris. Don't try to like sell your audience. I'm not like you are.
Do not put my name in a bad light. Come on, we're inviting you on as a guest. No, so zip
That's
it.
true. I-
Anyways, I have a couple questions about what you just talked about. Could segue
yeah,
into
of
that.
course,
You
of
didn't
course.
even finish. You didn't even let him finish.
All right, fine, finish it. Finish.
No. I'll take the questions now. I feel like I don't know. I feel like I'm not really welcome in this podcast now. I don't know. Like,
Well,
cause
okay. Well, you were gonna rant for like half an hour. I had to have questions at some point, so whatever. Might as well ask them
go
now.
ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Um,
I'm sorry. I'm
so
sorry, audience, if I was talking for
so
too long.
yeah. So just to clarify, before you went to Canada, you studied in Spain before that.
Yeah, I started in Spain the 15 years before that. Yeah.
And how would how was that transition from 15 years of Spanish school to Canadian school? Was it like a big culture shock, taking like all of a sudden like having to take classes with like Canadians and in English?
I mean, obviously, I was lucky enough that my English level was like pretty good by the time I went to Canada. So it was like a big adaptation period for me. I pretty much understood everything that was being said. I mean, obviously, the slang and everything was a little bit complicated sometimes, but I would say that I didn't have too many issues with that. It was more the shock of like, even though I knew a lot about the American experience and everything, the shock of how the classes were way more, way less of memorizing as we have in Spain, that everything is memorizing, and more of
Hmm.
understanding, I would say. So yeah, I really liked that experience in Canada.
Wow. I mean, I didn't know that about the memorizing part, but yeah, that's cool. And um, for UWC, like, did you pick where you wanted to go, or you just randomly assigned? Like, did you give any like preferences?
So yes, they asked you for the three, like your top three. I chose Canada, Norway, and the USA. Those were the campuses that I liked the most. Unfortunately, I was not given any of them.
Oh
At the
well.
time, I mean, yeah, I was given Tanzania. It was the only one that gave me the money to go. But now I would not change it for anything. Tanzania is a place that I have really deep in my heart, and I wouldn't change those 2 years for anything. So yeah, I'm happy that they picked me there rather than any other place.
Yeah, I mean, Tanzania's, I've never been, but I could imagine that's a pretty different experience, you
Really
know.
different, yeah,
Um,
super different.
yeah. What are the biggest differences you would say, like compared to everywhere else you've lived and studied?
I mean, obviously, when I was studying there, we were living in a very close environment, in a way, because it was only the people living in campus that we were like socializing. Everybody was from very different places. Like there were like, I don't know, like 50 nationalities in the campus, and we were only like 120 people. So it was like a really diverse, and that like helped me a lot, like to low-key understand myself and stuff that I thought of myself, how I saw the world and everything. It has shaped me a lot. But then I would say that the country, when I got the chance to go out and explore the country and to meet the people, I would say that the biggest difference that they take everything more slow. They enjoy everything way more than they might enjoy now that I'm here in America. Like everything is way more fast paced. Back in Tanzania, they enjoy the moment, as they say, Hakuna Matata. Like enjoy the moment, like
Wow,
relax.
I didn't know that's from
Every,
there.
everything's gonna, yeah, it is from there. It is from there. Swahili. Everything's gonna be fine. Yeah, it was a really enjoyable way of living, I would say, with way less, but really fruitful.
Yeah. Any questions from you, Ian? You've been a little quiet, eating your food.
Yeah, I do have a quiet. You've also been doing a lot of the talking, so yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Okay.
I'll admit I'm on the UWC website right now, and I'm seeing this section about creativity, activity, and service, and like
Yep.
engaging the students. I was just wondering, could you like talk about your experiences with all of those three, some of the interesting, enlightening things that you got to do that really, fulfilled you during your time there?
Yeah, of course. Great question, Ian. I
Thank you.
see that you've done you have actually done your work. I really appreciate that.
All
Um,
right, he's a sweat,
so,
bro. Holy crap.
well, I mean, you have to be a sweat if you want to go to the top, Chris. This creativity, activity, and service is part of the IB program, which is basically like your APs here in the US. But in this program, you also have to like fulfill certain hours of creativity, activity, and service. There in UWC, they encourage us a lot to like try to create new things. They always try to like put in our heads the idea of a legacy project. Me myself, I created what I believe that is my legacy project with some friends. It's called Hoops for Hope. We created this charity basketball tournament where we invited people all over the country to come to our to our school. We did that 4 years ago, I would say, until this day, still running. Every year, it's a new set of people that do it, and basically, we just wanted to do that so we could like get some money for certain charity, and then also the main idea was to be able to bring all the community together because we felt that that our school was a little bit segregated to the rest. Is something going on, Chris? Something going on?
Hey, what's up?
That's awesome, Pepe. Like that's a great story. I'm sorry
Yeah,
for the viewers wondering why I'm laughing. Chris has been clicking the raising hand emoji on his computer for the last minute and a half.
well, okay. You know,
I cannot.
you talk you talk about basketball, and you know, when I think about hearing about you in basketball, you know, I like to think about how like you know I'm better than you, and you know
Of
how
course,
I
of course.
beat you in 1v1. I want to clarify that Pepe is worse than me at basketball, and let it be known that you know I start over him in real basketball.
That was the interruption. The interruption
Yeah.
to his legacy projects was that you're better at basketball.
It,
Yeah, the viewers have to know. This is my podcast.
the viewers should also know that I was playing with non-basketball shoes with
I wasn't
splinters all over my
either.
feet.
I
No, you
wasn't
were. You
either.
were. Don't lie. It's okay.
I
It's
did not
okay. It's
have
okay,
basketball.
Chris.
I had
It was a
sneakers.
one-time thing. One-time thing. And I'm a better 5v5 player. I'm a clutch player.
No,
Chris is not.
no,
But
no.
hey, this is not what the viewers came to listen. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Ian, back me up right now. You know I'm a great basketball player. You've seen me play. Can you validate that?
Oh, that face. That face.
Let me see. I would say Chris has a lot in his toolbox. You know, he's got a lot of these
Mm.
skills, but somehow he doesn't really put them together quite as well as you think he would.
Oh,
What's that mean?
just he's basically telling you that you are uncoordinated. I believe that that's what he's trying to say.
I don't know if I would say that, but there's definitely
You would, Ian. You would.
there's some finer points in Chris's game that he sometimes struggles with, despite having a lot of athletic ability. Yeah. So if he like works on those fundamentals, I think he's going to take that next step.
All I know is, you know, I was hitting clutch threes all season long this year, you know. Wow, I don't think
I would,
Pepe hit a single three the whole year.
I would love to. I guess that I missed all the games where you scored a three, Chris.
You know, who are we playing? I don't know. We're playing some frat, you know. I hit a clutch three, you know, in the corner,
hmm
bang, in front of a
Was
whole
that
crowd.
was that followed by your airball like on one leg shot, or like was it after, before?
I think it was before. I think it was before.
Before? Okay, okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
But
Just
yeah,
making
I
sure.
mean, you know, does it matter if it's an air ball or just maybe it probably hit the rim, I think. Um,
Yeah, 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 for sure.
yeah, anyways, you know, sorry to distract you, but you can go back to your charity thing.
To my charity thing. Okay, okay, Chris. I feel like you're not giving it the importance that people back there would give it. But hey, hey, I'm gonna talk to Ian from now on. Um, so yeah, I forgot where I was. Um, yeah, we raised a decent amount of money, and then I also created for the creativity part of IB, I created a movie club where we would like put certain movies and then we would discuss them after. And then activity, I was part of like you know, the rugby team, the volleyball team, and the basketball team. So that was my experience with that part of IB.
That's awesome. Just like not a super serious question. Any favorite movies from that time? Like any ones that really stood out?
From that time, I cannot really, honestly, I don't remember what movies we watched. I
All
gotta
right.
tell you that.
What about just any movies in general? I'm curious.
Oh, you know what? I'm a big guy of rom-coms. I
Mm,
gotta say, I love a movie like actually right there. About Time, great movie.
mm.
Probably my favorite movie of all time. Great movie.
Ian loves rom-coms.
Oh, do you?
They're good. Yeah. Great genre.
Yeah, it fills his heart.
That's what they're for.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, thanks for sharing that, Pepe.
Anytime.
After your, Spain to Canada to UWC, Tanzania, what happened after that? I think I cut you off earlier. What happens after that in the Pepe journey?
Oh, after UWC in Tanzania, well, I applied to Richmond, but I wasn't so sure about what I wanted to, if I was ready still for university. So I decided to take a gap year. And during that gap year, in my first semester, I was accepted in a program called Semester at Sea, which is a program run by one University of Colorado here in the US. That takes you for 4 months all around the world. We visited 11 countries, if I'm not mistaken. We were in a cruise ship. While we were in the cruise ship, we were studying, and when we went to the ports, to each port, we would like be able to have free time and do whatever we wanted, travel all the country, and we would also have certain classes in the country that we would visit, which were really nice because we were able to like get to know the country and the people even more. So yeah, that was after UWC.
Yeah, I mean that's awesome. Ian and I just did some trips ourselves, but like nothing really compared to like the experience of like, traveling that much in such a short span. Um, any insights you want to give us on like how like, traveling that much, like anything you learned like specifically or just like general takeaways?
Yeah, it was definitely really overwhelming in a way because like we would like be for such short amounts of time in each place, like maybe 4 days, 5 days, and then 3 days later we would be somewhere else. So it would be in a way you didn't realize how great of an experience you were having, because of how quick it was going. Later on in the trip, it started being slower, so you got to realize even more about how amazing the place that you were traveling. Like for example, my last country was India, and that one I really got to like um, flavor it to understand it because like I was 11 days at sea right before that. So in those countries, it was really amazing to be able to like actually go and understand the culture, get to meet new people. And it was one of the first times that I actually like actually travel touristically by myself. So I got a lot of new tools and a lot of new skills that I'm pretty sure that I will need later in life of organization, of like talking to people, of like just um, doing everything by myself. And that was great. There was a lot of countries that I was dreaming of traveling, like Greece, for example, and countries that I didn't even know that I was like excited to see, like for example, Jordan, which was one of the greatest countries I've traveled so far.
Chris, I'm gonna cut you off before you jump back in. We're right at the end of the time on this WebEx, so we're gonna have to start a new one. But we'll be back shortly.